And we're live.
Hey everybody, I'm Naf from Grow and Behold.
I'm Shifra from Joy of Kosher magazine, and I came hungry. I always come hungry.
You always come hungry here. So we are here to talk about some Rosh Hashanah meat. And brisket's a classic, but we've done brisket. We did some great brisket recipes for Pesach. We wanted to do some lamb this year. We've got great lamb, and we wanted to show you a bone-in lamb shoulder and two different ways that you can cook it. Two different methods. We tried out our Instant Pot and a traditional braise. So these are the two pieces of meat.
This is so exciting. This is like you're in a test kitchen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is a bone-in lamb shoulder. So when you buy a lamb roast that's netted, there's no bones in it, and it might actually be two of these put together if they're small. These can weigh anywhere from 2.5 to about 5 pounds. You can cook two of them. It's very easy to double. You can do these in like aluminum pans.
Oh, wow.
Side by side.
And Naftali's the real expert here on meat cooking, so it's amazing to just listen to all his tips. And you can find tons of recipes on your site,
yes,
right?
we got lots of recipes for growandbehold.com. Also, we will have a coupon code for you at the end of this short video. We're going to do 2 little live videos. We'll show you the sauce in a little bit. But first, we want to just talk to you about technique. Okay, so Chipper, what do you notice the first difference?
Well, I mean, look at the stunning roasted deep brown color.
Yeah.
And it's falling off the bone. Look at that.
So
like it's amazing. The meat looks so tender and moist and delicious.
Okay, so this is how you would traditionally cook a bone-in piece of meat or anything you braised. Okay, the recipe calls for 3 hours with liquid covered tightly. I did it here in this Le Creuset Dutch oven. I want to show you how dirty and burnt it got, which is something that's interesting to note. Covered for 3 hours, and then for the last hour, you uncover it. Every oven's a little different. I only had it uncovered for about half an hour. I was on convection roast, so everything's faster. And the idea is you braise for 3 hours to get it nice and soft, and then you uncover it to get it browned. Instant Pot. What's an Instant Pot?
That's so interesting. What is an Instant Pot?
Exactly. So this.
Who knows? Guys, comment. Anybody know about an Instant Pot?
So
did anyone ever cook a roast in an Instant Pot?
So it's all the rage. It's an electric pressure cooker, but if you can see it over here, it's got soup and rice and stew.
So you could do anything in it.
You can cook almost everything in it. The one thing, as kosher keepers, that's a little bit frustrating for us is our Instant Pot is meat.
Okay.
So, if I want to cook my, chickpeas, when I make hummus from scratch, I soak the chickpeas the night before.
Okay.
And then I cook them for an hour and a half.
And then it's automatically flaky.
Yeah. Well, if I did it in the Instant Pot, I could do chickpeas in half an hour.
Naomi Nachman says hi.
Hey, Naomi. So, but it has a saute feature, which is great. So you can brown meat ahead of time.
Okay, so that way, instead of roasting it at the end, you can start by roasting it. Did you
I
roast
did not.
it this time?
I did not.
Oh,
Because that's the thing.
Okay.
I really wanted to see what the difference was
It
going to be.
smells so good. I just have to say, I can't wait to try it.
At 8 a.m. it was a little heavy on the garlic for me, but now it's perfect.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is the two main differences that I'm seeing. One is there's really no browning here, right?
Okay.
It's definitely soft, and I'm sure it'll be tasty.
Very tender.
The other thing I want to show you is the liquid. So almost all of my liquid cooked off in the Dutch oven, except for some fat. Nothing cooked off in the Instant Pot. And the other thing, which we don't, in Facebook I know they're working on that, so you can't smell it, the alcohol didn't cook off. This recipe calls for 2 cups of water and 2 cups of white wine.
Okay.
And when I open the Instant Pot, I can still smell the alcohol.
Okay, you can make a little flame.
Yeah, so it's an interesting thing because this recipe calls for a pan sauce, which we're going to make in a few minutes. I can't make a pan sauce out of this in the Dutch oven. There's no liquid left. So one thing I probably could have done is covered it more tightly in foil to really keep the liquid in.
Okay.
I just used the lid. And
when you uncovered it, was there any liquid left?
Not much.
Okay.
It was so hot that I didn't really see, but there wasn't much. So I probably could have covered it more tightly with aluminum foil, but we can make a pan sauce out of this and we'll cook the alcohol out afterwards.
Okay.
So
is the recipe available on your website?
the recipe is available on our website.
So check out the recipe if you want to make this.
growandbehold.com/recipes. You'll find all of it. But so first we're going to do a quick taste test. Both of these are pulled lamb recipe. It's one recipe, but it's a pulled lamb recipe. So the idea is you would serve it over rice. So I don't know if you want to zoom in for the pulling, but you can just take 2 forks. Look at that.
Shredding
it just shreds.
Wow.
And you want it. You've got that nice crust.
The aroma as Naftali is shredding the meat is incredible. Like you smell the lamb and the roasted flavors, the garlic, the rosemary, and because the wine didn't cook out, you're also getting that the smell of the wine.
Okay, so the Instant Pot one is pulling nicely too. I did 35 minutes, and also, the Instant Pot is a new gadget in our house. So I did
Oh
35.
wow, it took 35
30
minutes.
that's the thing.
Wow.
So we had Asabuco for Shabbos a couple weeks ago. How long does it take to cook Asabuco usually?
I don't know.
It takes a while.
Takes
5-6 hours.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
We
just
had-
gonna sneak, guys. I can't
Yeah.
help it. I'm sorry.
We had Asabuco
Sorry.
start to finish an hour and a half.
really good.
Is
So-
this traditionally how you would serve it? Like you actually would pull it off like that?
So this is a
You bring it to the table
this
like
is-
that,
This is
or-
a hard roast to carve because, well, first of all, you couldn't carve this. It's cooked too much. It's cooked to pulling, but because of the bone structure, it's hard to carve. So you really would generally pull this. But so now we're going to taste, and I'm going to taste too.
Yeah, I
we're
already
going to
took
taste
it.
test.
It
Okay.
smelled so good. I couldn't help it. It was so delicious, so delicious,
All right,
so
so try the
casual.
other one.
Oh, so it's going to be interesting to compare. This time I'll try to be more mannerful and take the fork.
Yeah, right.
So I sort of the roasted flavor in this is really good, but somehow
The
the
wine-
flavor of the garlic and the wine is
Yeah.
very prevalent.
Yeah, and the wine is
in
good.
this one.
I'm really funny,
Mm-hmm.
and I did not expect that I was going to enjoy the flavor of the wine there.
It
Wow.
really,
Huh.
yeah, and also the flavor of the garlic and the rosemary is somehow
Yeah.
more prevalent in this one.
What
Is it
about the
because
texture?
liquid Cooked out?
The texture's similar.
It's very similar.
I mean, maybe I could have cooked this for 38 minutes or 40 minutes on pressure cook,
Right.
and that would have given it a little more pull.
Right. And then like this one though, you get this like crustiness
Yeah.
from the roasted.
I have to say though, the flavor. So the Instant Pot cooks sealed under pressure. You have to make sure it's super easy. It's not like pressure cookers that like we all got from our grandmother and are afraid to use because they rattle
Right.
and explode. Like it's super easy. You get it sealed and it goes ding.
So it's amazing when you're in a rush and you have so much to do. You can really get a high quality piece of.
But I have to
roast.
say, if I were going to make this,
Yeah.
just so far, from what we've seen so far, because I have to clean this pan already, and this is already a bunch of work, what I would probably do is try and do this in like an Instant Pot, though I had to, this is a 3-pounder, and that's
Okay.
why it fit. And I could have fit 2, but I would not have been able to fit a 4-pound lamb shoulder. But I would consider cooking it in the Instant Pot and then broiling it.
Oh, very
On, like, a
smart.
little
Yeah,
pan,
and then
just to
reducing
get-
the sauce like we're going to do now.
Exactly. So
Okay.
We have
last thing-
we have a question here about the Instapot.
Yes.
If someone can't have the wine, is enough cooked out from the meat itself from the Instapot? I'm guessing they're not adding liquid.
I can't answer that question,
Yeah, I think that
especially
if you're not having wine, you should probably substitute with another liquid.
yeah, use chicken broth if you're
Yeah.
not having wine. You know, that's the answer there. Okay.
Yeah.
So in a minute
Oh,
we're
there
going to
you-
take a quick break, and Schiffer's going to work on repurposing these leftovers. Though,
If you have any.
yeah, if you have left, well, if you got 4
Or you
lambs,
can serve it. I'm thinking like, you're shredding it. You can serve it. We'll talk about it. We'll give some serving ideas too in the next video that we're doing.
so
So-
just so you can see, because you're not going to watch me make a pan sauce for 15 minutes, I'm going to pour off all the liquid just through a strainer with my fat separator. Make sure it's not dripping out the bottom. Perfect. Wow. So there's actually, I think there's more liquid than when I started.
Oh, so the lamb gave out a lot of flavor.
I think the lamb
so
gave out-
This is going to be really flavor packed.
Okay.
Like incredible.
So now I'm going to the fat goes to the top, and I'm just going to gently pour out my gravy. I love this little thing.
This is a really cool gadget. If you want to get that smooth sauce that you would get in a restaurant, this is the way to do it.
Okay, so this is like a little more than a cup. So I'm going to mix this with flour, and I'm going to get that into like kind of a roux that's nice
Okay.
and stable.
And you could do this with anything. Like you're making a brisket, you could do it also with the sauce.
This
is
is
good
this is just
technique.
how you make pan sauce. So
Yeah.
I'm going to slowly stir in.
So are we going to take a break?
I'm going to do the flour, and then we're going to take a break.
Okay.
We're gonna slowly stir in.
I mean, this is
flour.
amazing to watch just to see how you could take a roast and elevate it
And you can
make
use
it so full
you can
of
use
flavor.
cornstarch when it's not Pesach. You can
Okay.
use spelt flour if you need to. The idea is just to thicken it. I'm going to mix this in, and then I'm going to boil that down. As that boils down, I'm going to mix this in with the fresh herbs that were left from the recipe. So that's the story.
Okay.
We'll see you back in about 10 minutes, right?
Okay, great. Yeah.
And we'll get you a coupon code, and
we'll
we
talk
will
about how to serve it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We'll see you soon. Thanks for tuning in.